What's going on, St. Louis? You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600 Hallelujah AM. What's going on out there? Boy, it's been a beautiful week. It's been up and down, but we have some beautiful weather now. Everything is lovely, so to speak, but we still have problems in River City, and that's what we want to talk about, and we want to talk about issues that are arising. I'm joined by my main man, Anthony Shaheed.
Hey,
what's up, my brother?
Oh, man, I feel black-tastic, and I feel black-anificent, and I feel black-horrific. So don't talk back to me, talk black to me. Yes. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. But who else we got here, man?
None other than Sister Felicia Hampton.
She make me call her Sister Secretary. I can't just call her Sister. I'm telling you what she make me say.
That's by request. I just thought you was doing it.
Oh, that's gone.
Okay. Good morning, St. Louis. Go ahead and text 10 friends and bring them in. We're here.
Text a friend and bring him in.
Yes.
We want you to like it, share it, tag it, follow it, like it, share it, tag it, follow it. And we would be remiss if we didn't remember or recognize Who is Timothy?
What's up, Timothy?
In the house. That man back there on the ones and twos putting the show together for us. Without him, we wouldn't be anywhere. So he's making it happen. So let's get right to it. I wanted to talk about, it's depressing news, but it's also, I'm of the belief that problems are opportunities, all right? Some people get a problem and they sit on the damn curb with their head in their hand trying, oh, woe is me. Yes, but I am not of that ilk, and I never have been. I guess my people raised me to always think of how you're gonna work your way out of something, you know? But here, this article disturbs me. It is St. Louis is on the list of one of the 10 fastest dying cities in America. Now, let me repeat that again. One of the 10 fastest dying cities in America. As a matter of fact, it's number 7.
Number 7.
Damn. Number 7. Now, they gauge whether or not a city is dying or not on population loss, all right? They surveyed 300 cities. Now, that's a damn shame. 300 cities, Shaheed. I mean, that's almost all of the major cities in America. It is all the major cities, and then it's all of the mid-sized cities, all right? Out of that 300, only 28 have population loss. Only 28 out of 300. So it's a shame if you were in that 28 out of the 300. But then out of that 28, they narrowed it down to the 10 fastest dying cities.
Damn.
Ain't that something?
10 fastest dying.
Detroit, Baltimore, Cleveland, St. Louis, to name a few.
That ain't nothing. That ain't
dying.
That ain't nothing to brag about there.
No, you don't want bragging rights about that. Dying, literally dying on the vine.
One thing I know, Mayor, is anytime racism or crime, those are two main elements that will destroy a city. If I don't know nothing else, I know racism, and St. Louis specialized in racism.
And job loss.
And job loss. Those are the main things. Yeah. And then when you tie crime, and that's why they don't want the Olympics coming to Chicago a few years ago, because you can't have 20 people getting killed over a weekend and damn somebody say, hey, you the city I want to come to.
Right, that's right.
You know, but St. Louis, I mean, this mindset that St. Louis have, you know, that they gonna get everything in black people, because it's been like this for the long. It wasn't until you came in office that changed, and that's why these white folks had a problem.
They didn't want to talk about it.
They didn't want to hear about no piano keys. The only key they wanted to hear is the damn key they play.
Didn't want to talk about it.
Didn't talk about it.
Right. Like, say, for instance, like in the city of Shreveport, it's one of the 10 fastest losing cities. It's of the 10. They are really, but you basically need to be saying is the 10 cities that are dying in America. Well, Shreveport is one of them. They say Shreveport has a median income. That's one of the things that you check. $55,000 for a family.
That $55,000?
The median income in America is $55,000 for a family. In Shreveport, it's $35,000.
That's some damn crackhead.
$35,000.
A crackhead can't even make it off of that.
So these are indicators, like you say, population loss, crime.
Yeah.
And then the unemployment. I think the national unemployment is around 4-point-something%, and they said that in St. Louis it was 7+%.
7
for the unemployment. Yeah. And so there was some concerns that they had. So I want to say there was around 319,000.
Wait.
No, I think it was like 19,000, not 300, but 19,000 people over this time of the census that left.
Yeah, 19,000. Right.
19,000.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of people, particularly if all you got was 300.
That's a lot of
Any people leaving. And see, like us pointed out of the 300 cities in America, you got 300 cities. 300 cities. Only 28 lost population.
Damn.
And we were in the top 25% of that 28.
The top 10, hell.
The top 10, you in the top 10. St. Louis is number 7.
Number 7 out of 20, okay.
Number 7. So something's wrong with this picture.
That's a hard pill to swallow
Top
there.
10.
But now, here, some of the bright side is our city is sitting on about $1 billion right now.
Oh, ain't no secret.
About $1 billion. We got about $500 million from the federal government for that COVID relief. And then you got about, the NFL lawsuit was $700 million.
Yeah.
But we have to share portions of that 700. So we down to probably may get about 400 million of that. So that's 900 million. And, the other thing is we've talked about this within the last couple weeks about the big projects that are happening.
Oh, it's major.
You got the big NGA project. That's
Veteran?
that's close to $2 billion.
Yeah, that's right.
The big NGA project, close to $2
You
billion.
talked about the veteran hospital.
You talked about the veteran hospital up on Grand.
Yeah.
That's about $1.5 billion.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's almost $3.5 billion. I'm saying billion with a B, not million.
Yeah, that's right.
So all of these projects have an opportunity to stimulate
ain't no secret.
our economy. Because and people, and I'm not just talking about construction jobs. The fact that the money is being spent creates opportunity in other areas in the city and in the region, as a matter of fact.
But Mayor, also MSD, they got a 25-year plan that I believe they spending like about $3.5 billion in the next 25 years.
Yes.
And then you also have, who else is that over there?
MSD is a major. You don't see that because it's underground, but that's a major project.
That's a major project. So it's enough to come here, like you said, a setback is time for a comeback. At the same time,
Let's do that again.
You like that? A setback is ready for a comeback.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. In that order.
Yeah, but these white folks got to stop being white, though.
Well,
they got to start trying to share some of this money with some of these brothers, then you can keep the crime down, you can keep them out of jail. But as long as you don't want to share your wealth with them, then that's a problem.
Well, and they're not going to do it on their own.
They ain't going to do nothing on their own.
You got to have leadership, pushing and shoving, and in some cases demanding that there be inclusion in regard to the expenditure of these dollars.
Yes, sir.
If we don't insist, if we don't demand, then these people will just go on as if nothing happened because it doesn't affect them.
It ain't going to happen.
It doesn't affect them. It does not affect them at all. So you have to have leadership.
Yes, sir.
You have to have leadership at the top.
That's right.
Talking about your mayor, your comptroller, your president of the board of aldermen, and your aldermen, your state senators. Everybody's got to be on the same page as it relates to this issue of inclusion. You got to have it. If you don't, it's a missed opportunity.
It's a missed opportunity. And windows of opportunity don't keep on opening.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Once it's open, you got to come on and get it while it's there, because if you don't, anything can come through the squirrels.
That is true. So it's time for us to go to a break, ladies and gentlemen.
You setting the tone for it? I know we got time for break. We got 10 seconds.
What?
You got
10 seconds.
Oh, come on. What it is?
Catch us in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600.
Keep it on lock.
Hallelujah.
Quit playing.
AM. Keep it on lock.
Quit playing.
Quit playing.
In that order.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM.
Right.
We've been talking about this situation where St. Louis is one of the 10 fastest dying cities in America. Yeah. But we also pointed out that was the muddy side. But we also pointed out some of the sunny side. So those of you that are faint of heart, let us not lose hope. Let us not lose hope. There's still opportunity, and we can still get there. But I'm going to turn the show over to Brother Shahid right quick, because we have a special guest that's going to sit in with us for a few minutes in this segment.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Good morning, brothers and sisters. I'm so thankful this morning to have live in the studio with us a brother that I have great respect for. Brother really came up under Brother Juma Muhammad. And Brother Juma Muhammad, for all y'all that's out there, is a superstar. Nobody does what Brother Juma does on the psychiatric level as far as dealing with people with their brains and their mind. When Juma say you crazy as hell, that means you crazy as hell. It's official at that point. But anyway, this young brother came up on him and wound up having some issues. And I'm just going to set the tone for him, and then I'm going to let him jump in there and help us understand why what he do is so important. He sees more now than he ever saw. And the tone was set because he wound up having some trials and tribulations, had some setbacks in his life. And as we said earlier, he didn't understand the setback make a comeback. He understands it now. And he understands it on such a level. Brother Langford Cunningham now has a television show. He's on ABC. And when I'm talking about, he's a big shot now. He ain't like a little shot. He's like a real big shot. And he done had some of the major players to come on his show. But the reason they come on this show is because this brother here is physically blind.
Oh, right.
He's physically blind. And I'm going to say it one more time. He's physically blind. But I promise you, after you hear this brother speak, he sees better than half of us and really understands better now than he did then. So without any hesitation or reservation, I want to tell you, first of all, welcome this morning. This month is passing so fast. Today is October the 1st. Do you know how fast it is?
Rolling!
And the mere fact that you're here with us in the studio means everything to us. Brother Langford Cunningham, if you would jump in here now and tell us why you're known as the BlindCityPodcast.com on ABC. Hop in and help me.
All right. Well,
Did I set the tone for you? Okay?
You set the tone.
I can't hear you. Don't come in the butt dance. I'm telling you, don't start there.
No. Let me say thank you to you, Brother Shaheed, and Mayor Bosley.
Thank you, sir.
And you better say something about the secretary.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to say something about Felicia, Secretary Felicia. Yes, I'm a big fan of your show. Like I said, I listen to a lot of shows in St. Louis for me to keep up what's going on. But yes, I lost my sight 3 years ago. For people that may know me and don't know me, I worked at St. Louis County Juvenile Detention for 17 years, working with some of the most notorious at-risk youth in these streets. And when I lost my sight to glaucoma, because as black men, we don't go to the doctor until it's too late. So I'm going to tell all the men that's listening to this show, if you feel something physically going wrong with your body, something that's not feeling right, go to the doctor. Don't rely on marijuana. They think marijuana solves everything in the hood. And that's not the same marijuana that they did in the 60s and 70s.
Sure the hell ain't.
Now it's all chemicals in the marijuana. Right. It's not even real marijuana.
Sure the hell
called additives.
Exactly, what they giving to us in the hood. But go to the doctor if you feel something that's not right. And it's not about being scared of if you have something. It's about catching it early to extend your life.
Prevention. It's about prevention.
Correct. And that's what life's about, making it to the finish line. It's not about dying so young. These young fellas out here in these streets think it's, dying. I don't think I'm going to live to be 25. I don't think I'm going to live to be 26. No, the goal of life is survival.
Yes, sir.
It's survival. It's not going out. It's not about dying. It's about survival. So when I went blind and lost my sight, I was kind of working and I was in the strip clubs and I was buying a lot of cars. I had just moved out to West County from Shreve and Betsy. And I got caught up in the streets with the materialism and the women and the drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
So I woke up one morning, my eyes were bloodshot red. I thought it was from the alcohol. So I went back to work. The kids started teasing me. Oh, Mr. C, you smoke. I said, man, I don't smoke nothing. And I was like, damn, if everybody's saying something about it, I need
to. It's got to be something.
Yeah, I got to go to one of these strip malls to these eye doctors. So I went to one of the strip malls, went inside there. Little Asian doctor told me to come in, put my eyes inside the machine. Yeah. And he scooped the chair back. Now, anytime the doctor scoops the chair back,
that's right.
You're going to get some bad news, right?
Yeah.
And he looked at me and said, Mr. Cunningham, anybody in your family have glaucoma? I said, yes, sir. My father had glaucoma, and he went blind.
So it's hereditary.
Exactly. And he said, well, your eye pressure is up to 35 in both eyes. Now, normal eye pressure is 12 to 15. So when he told me that, he said, we got to rush you to the hospital. We got to get you into surgery.
I went through 31 surgeries.
Wait a minute.
31?
31. 31 surgeries.
On
And
your eyes?
On my eyes. And the worst thing about it at that time, I was watching my sight go away. Now, I didn't
You
have...
could see it gradually slipping away from you.
Exactly. And I had sight for 50 years. So the trauma that I had to deal with that. And then the doctors just told me, Mr. Cunningham, you're going to be blind. And when he told me that, I felt the room went upside down.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to think. I know when I got back to my house and those cars I bought, I couldn't see them no more. The place I was living at, I flushed out. I couldn't see it no more. And everybody tell you, oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We're going to hang in there with you until they leave. Now you're in the house by yourself and I can't see nothing.
Right.
I was ready to check out of here. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to handle this. And now my spirituality at this point wasn't really that strong. You know, I tell people, people say, well, I got faith. Well, you really don't know what you got until you go through something. But when everything good, faith is easy to say. Yeah. You don't really find out how strong you are until you face some serious adversity.
That's right.
So I start questioning my faith. And I was like, man, I'm ready to check out
abandoned,
of here. Exactly. And then, and most of all, the nonsense of it, like I say, I was so caught up in materialism, I was thinking, well, what woman gonna want a blind man? I'm not gonna be able to catch them hotties no more. Now I'm disabled. What I'm gonna do? So I was like, man, I'm ready to check out of here. Now I'm not finna tell people how I tried to kill myself because I don't wanna, you never know who's listening to the show. You never know who's going through something.
Right.
But what I will say, I tried 3 times in one day.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
This is real.
Well, hold the phone.
Yeah, this is real.
You tried to kill yourself 3 times in one day?
Back to back. Yes.
But Allah wasn't ready for you, bro.
He wasn't ready for
Were you by yourself?
Yes. Yes. And let me explain it just a little bit. I tried hanging myself. That didn't work. Then I tried.
You couldn't see what you was doing.
I wasn't good at suicide. But
you trying
which is a blessing.
And then I went and got, I got the ammunition, and you know what I did with that.
Yeah.
And I clicked the trigger 3 times, put it in my mouth, nothing came out.
Wow.
But when I threw it against the wall,
bam.
That's what happened.
That's what caught me off guard when he said that.
Right.
That was your blessing.
So then I got real frustrated. Now I'm walking through my house. I'm cursing God. I'm cursing everything. So I called my friend on the north side. I said, hey, man, bring me some of those pills I can take. That'd take me out of here. He's like, no, man, I don't know. I said, man, bring me the pills, bro. I don't want to live no more. Right. Now, let me tell you about friends now. If you really got a friend, they're not going to bring you no pill.
Right.
They don't care how you say it, how you try to force them to do something. A real friend not going to do it.
We're going to work it out.
If anything, he going to call help for you.
Yeah, we're going to work it out.
That didn't happen.
Tell him, go get to
So
it.
on
He
his
brought
way,
the pills?
on his way en route, bringing me the pill. I'm waiting about an hour. I haven't heard nothing. So I voice dialed the phone, and a white man answered the phone.
This is crazy.
I said, who is this? He said, who are you? I said, I'm looking, I'm not going to say his name, but I said, I'm looking for such and such. He said, oh, we got a guy in handcuffs. We just pulled over in the car. I said, what? He had drug paraphernalia in the car. I said, what? He said, what's your name, sir? I dropped the phone.
Shit.
And I just laid out on the floor and started crying, and I surrendered myself.
Yeah.
And
that humbled yourself.
Exactly. And from that point on, I seek therapy. And out of all this chaos, it created Blind City, the podcast, which is not about visually impaired people like myself, but it's about a community that has been blind by the oppressor.
An impaired community.
Correct.
A hijacked community.
Correct.
So tell us about this channel 30. How did you land? They started hearing about you. To talk to me. Don't sit there trying to play it.
You had to get a story. You had to hear a story.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
So
this is how he did me when I went on his show, man.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So he holding back.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No, but so when I started Blind City, the podcast, I wanted to take on the issues that were plaguing our community, like human trafficking. Speaking of that, we got over 400 girls missing out of Berkeley, Missouri. 400 girls.
Yes.
I called the chief of police of Berkeley to come on to my show. He never called back. He never called back. But we got over 400 black missing out of Berkeley, Missouri. You can Google it on your phones. I wanted to take on domestic violence. St. Louis is number 2 in the nation of domestic violence and most black women killed in their city.
Did you know that, Shaheed?
No, I didn't know until he started talking about it. No, I didn't know nothing.
You can Google it on your phone. I wanted to take on that issue. I also wanted to take on the black-on-black crime. But anything that's plaguing our community, I wanted to address it and bring people on my platform to bring information and awareness. And when I first started this, I never intended it for it to go where it's at now. That's a blessing. I was just doing the podcast to keep me alive.
Right.
Because St. Louis County told me I couldn't work for them no more. I was a liability now. They couldn't have me in there with at-risk youth, and I'm blind. So I get it. I didn't know what to do. All my life, I worked with at-risk youth. That's all I wanted to help these kids save their lives. Now I can't do it no more. But now I can bring the attention to it through Blind City, the podcast, and what it has done. It's unbelievable. The mayor came on the show. Corey Bush came on the show. Brother Shaheed, people from the community came on to the show.
Don't leave a Juma out.
Dr. Juma is the clinical guy on my show. He's the counselor. He's the one that helps me find solutions for these issues.
And somebody who talked to you.
Oh, yeah. I came through his mentor program, SLU University. That's 20 years ago, about 25 years ago. So God brought me and him back together. And now we address these issues. And then ABC 30 gave me a call. They saw some of my YouTube numbers. They were impressed what was going on. They said, hey, you out here reaching the youth. We got a slot for you. They had me at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. I was kind of like, well, it's late. But I kind of know when God has a mission for you, it's a plan for it.
Right.
And sometimes you just can't shut that door.
Right.
So I started at 2:30 a.m. for about 6 months. She said, Mr. Cunningham, we looking at the Nielsen report, you getting about 700-800 people at 2:30 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I was like, what? She said, yeah, we're going to move you to 1 a.m. They moved me to 1 a.m., and that's where I'm at now. And they have supported me over at ABC.
Yeah, they have.
And they really ride with me over there. Yeah. And also, I wanted to get on ABC because it was a guy on there that been on there for 7 years. He walks around with a crown on his head.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what the other one, them fairy tales on wands or something. And I said, hell no, that ain't gonna be the only image representing black men out my city.
Right, bro.
Now nothing
And
against what he do. No. That's what he do. But I wanted another image for our kids to see.
Well, I'm gonna say something then, because my problem with that, and I'm speaking for Brother Shaheed. I'm not speaking for 1600. I'm not speaking for the Blind City. I'm not speaking for Who Is Tim. It's time out for us seeing black men always in buffoonery roles, or skinning role, or some stuff that ain't even real. It's time. That's why these young people don't want to deal with us, because they don't see strong black men acting like black men. One of the main reasons they like Freeman Bosley Jr. show here, because we hot and we speak about things. The rest of them scared. They tip around. They mealy mouth. They buck dancing and buck jumping and butt kissing and butt sniffing and being butt buddies. So they not free. And when you're not free, you got to say what somebody tell you to say, because if not, you're going to be in trouble. We already in trouble when we got black men representing us and ain't got nobody talking the way you talking. That's a problem.
Right.
You see better than most people see this blind. You probably see better now than you have ever seen before in your life.
I had to lose my sight to find my vision.
No, I like that. Let me write that. I'm going to steal that. Right. Don't play like it. You got that from Brother Shaheed. Shaheed going to say that. There's too many people this morning hearing you say that, so I can't get that off this morning.
Right. That's how I start off my show. I had to lose my sight to find my vision, because we got so many people with sight that have no damn vision. And that's what's going on in our community right now. We got a lot of people that have no vision. And I'm just trying to bring hope and awareness to the community and just add another voice, because really, technically, we only have really, far as I know of, and you guys and Miss Felicia can correct me, but you got DJ show, you got the Mary Bosley show, now you got Blind City, the podcast, that are really taking on the issues of our community. I think the rest, probably sports shows, but they either keep us on early in the morning or late at night. But we got white conservative radio 24 hours.
Mainstream.
Mainstream.
Right, bro.
So, the playing field is not level because they always hearing what's going on in their community every day. They can address it every day.
They're going to address it.
So we have to get it to that point in our city, and hopefully some of these program directors can get in position, and we need to get a 24-hour black radio here. They have it in Detroit, and they got it in California. You only got 2 out the United States.
Yeah.
So remember Bob Law?
Oh, bro. Bob Law was the man, bro.
Yeah.
Bob Law had that night talk.
Night
it was
talk.
hot. It was hot.
It was almost 6 hours, wasn't it?
It looked like every bit of 6 hours.
Every bit of it.
And what he would be doing is tied into not just something locally.
He'd be all across the country.
Everybody would tune into the Bob Law show because what he was talking about, and he was talking about issues of black people like what we're talking about. It's all right as long as they skinning and grinning and talking about have some chicken dinners or they talking about doing this, that, and that. But when you start talking about real issues.
Mealy mouths.
Mealy mouths. That's exactly what it is. And that's what I love that you said. It ties into you when you talk about that you now have a new vision. It's a saying in Africa, it's a proverb, a people without vision will perish. You got to have visions. Because if you don't know what you're going to be doing in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, don't have a program that's put in place, it's bad. We definitely need a show where black people can have something 24 hours a day instead of just all this type of music, this calling sisters B's and W's and tip drills and hood rat. See, that's got to be addressed. And that's what they don't want to address. As long as they got some of those people that's behind the scene that can keep that music going like that, they ain't going to say a damn thing to them. But that's what needs to be talked about. Now, you start talking about the so-called Jews or what's happening in the homosexual community, then that's different. Now they're going to jump in. But as long as you buck dancing and buffoonery, this Brother Shaheed speaking now. I'm speaking for Brother Shaheed only. I ain't speaking for no damn body else. As long as you doing that, these white folks ain't got no problem. As long as you talking about us killing each other and just, we got to do something better, or as long as you talking about, hey, right now it's too many white folks working, and how many blacks, how many people you got? We got 100 people working. How many black? We got 3 or 4. We can do better. Well, damn it, how come you ain't did some damn better? They don't want you to address that.
Well, let me say this. Let's flip tables like Jesus.
There you go. Boy, see, don't you start that.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's flip tables like Jesus. Church's Chicken has done more in our community than the black churches.
Damn.
Oh, Church's Chicken.
Let me say it again. Church's Chicken in our community has done more than black churches in our damn community.
Okay, now, hold the phone for just 1 second. Develop that a little bit.
Dig down, is what he said.
Drill down, to develop that a little bit.
Okay, we got so many churches on every street corner.
Yeah.
They're not teaching the people to come out the church and go into the streets. They keeping the people in the church. That's why the young men are not in the church. When I worked in juvenile detention for 17 years, you know how many pastors came through there?
How many?
1. You know where he was from? Compton, California. We got mega churches in our community. We got so many churches, and we got all the damn problems in our community. You have to come out that church. You are supposed to train the people in your church to come out of the church and go into the street, feed the homeless, spread the word of Jesus Christ like Jesus did. If you read the Bible, and if you are a Christian, and you follow those principles, the churches are not teaching it to the people in our community because they're not serving the community. They just serving the church. The funeral homes are getting rich. They don't want to stop black on black crime. They'll go out of business.
And my daddy used to tell me, he said, son, when I was running for office, he said, wherever there's 2 people getting together, you be the third one there.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, because I used to say, well, Daddy, it ain't that many people at the meetings and stuff like this. He said, son, wherever there's 2 people getting together, you be the third one there.
That's right.
Not only did you say that.
So we built from the ground up.
Yeah, don't lose what you was going to say. You didn't just say that. You made sure it happened because that's why James Clark, that's why Mike McMillan, that's why Anthony Shaheed and a whole lot of us more. It was you that made sure that young people went into the street. That's how come we ran into 5-4 and 4-4. That's like 5-4, that whole area around there. It wasn't nobody we didn't know
West
about.
Florissant and Robin.
That's where we was at. I'm talking about 5-4, 4-4, 6 Deuce, GDs, L Rookers, King Cobra, Vice Lords, you name them, we got it. They're going to come and check this thing because I think our timer that went out, Brother Tim. So come and check this for us, Tim. That way we'd be on. But the bottom line is Mayor Bosley just talk about it. What Mayor Bosley did, he did something about it. And when you don't get a chance to come into the community and do what you're supposed to be doing, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It makes all the difference. Go ahead with your
And
point.
that's why we're glad to see you and hear your testimony, because that's touching somebody, touching a lot of people.
Touching
and
me.
we appreciate you, man. We really do.
I thank you. Like I said, I use my disability as a strength, because how they do handicapped people in America, you think racism towards black people is bad? Let me tell you about what they do to handicapped
Don't cut
people.
no slack. You ain't got to. We might have to let him come on the next segment with us too. If it's okay, Mary, can I have him a little bit longer with me?
Absolutely.
I want to keep him here on the next segment with me.
Yes.
Because what you're talking about, I'm gonna tell you, this get a lot of people in trouble. Like you saying, when it comes to talking about, and I'm trying to remember what president that was that put things in place so they could have a wheelchair and have ramps in there to go out that way. That's one thing that Christ talked about, being to the point that you look at people that's less fortunate. He was always talking about going out to the highways and the byways. That's what I read. Now, maybe they got some other heavy stuff going on that I don't know nothing about, but that's what it's about, and that's what Mary Bosley did, and that's what you're doing, my brother.
Right. Well, what the government does, they give you a check and tell you stay out the way. They tell you stay out the way. No, I'm not staying out the way.
Give some disability money.
No, I'm still in these streets. I'm still going to voice my opinion. I'm still going to try to help my people. I'm not just going to stay out and be satisfied with a once-a-month check. No. Matter of fact, no. I made more money than that damn check, and I still got hustle in me. I had hustle when I had sight. I got even more hustle now that I'm blind.
Well, I think we get right to the end. I don't know what that thing done did.
All right,
So-
guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
Go on
Listen.
and close it out for us, man.
All right. We going to a break, y'all.
Yeah.
We just got so caught up in the moment. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. We'll be right back. Keep it on lock.
Quit playing.
Oh! Let's get it in. Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. I got so caught up in this last segment that we lost time, man. So that means you really have an impact. So go ahead, brother. I'm sorry we're sorry to interrupt you.
About what Mary's saying is it's a certain time we have to stop because we have, like, this segment is 22 minutes. And the mere fact we kept on going here, we sitting here because he started talking about the handicap and stuff, and this threw us off. So thank you again this morning for being here. You know, like I said, October the 1st, and have you here at the beginning of October, that means something to us. You have your own television program, so jump back in on what you was talking about, what discrimination and how they playing people, how they sit and do, you say how black people think we going through some trouble, but our handicapped people, I think that's where you was at.
Well, you know, in America, we judge people anyway. You know, they judge people anyway. You know, they judge a book by its cover. Very seldom they don't open the book to read it.
Damn.
So when people see you blind, mind, they kind of think you broke and you down on your luck. That's why when I step out, I'm still fresh. I'm still the same person when I had sight. I'm just dealing with an obstacle. Absolutely. But I'm making it work for me. And I'm out here touching lives and inspiring other people, whether they're handicapped or not handicapped. Because you got people, like I say, they got sight, but they don't have no damn vision. Mm-hmm. They don't even know which way to go. Some of them jumping off a cliff without a parachute.
That's right.
So I'm just trying to bring awareness to the community. And we just got to step up in St. Louis, man. I just think it's been a lot of complacency with some of the politicians, the ones that got caught up. My prayers are with them, but at the same time, you got a lot of more corrupt politicians in our community, from Pine Lawn to Wellston all the way down. We got people sucking the blood out of our own community, and they look like us. So I think sooner or later we're going to have to address some issues for people in our community. If you doing what's right for the community, we're going to support you, and we're going to expose the ones that ain't doing right. See, we can't be cool with the drug dealer and then be cool with Jesus and be cool with Allah and then be cool saying I'm on the borderline with everybody. No, to make a better community, you got to expose the ones that's not trying to make a better community. And they even go with the radio DJs. If they playing that music and we out here killing each other and the music said we killing each other, we need to address the radio stations.
Damn sure.
We need to get out there in front of the radio stations and say, hey, we don't want that crap played in our community. We just got to take more concerns about our issues in our community and be more aggressive and more assertive. You see the Republicans doing it. They ran up in the Capitol.
Let me ask you this. They did.
They ran up in the Capitol. They didn't give a damn.
Particularly, And some of them ran away. Hawley. He's a Republican, staunch Republican. But when them boys came on up in that Capitol, they saw him running down the hall.
Josh Hawley.
Fleeing.
Josh Hawley.
Fleeing.
You're not talking about Josh Hawley in St. Louis and Jefferson City.
Clown. We're going to get to that. Let me run this by you, man. We just saw an article where we were reading about St. Louis being one of the 10 fastest dying cities in America. What's your take on that? And they cite, housing, crime, jobs, education. Those are the things that they say cause people to leave. They say that 300 cities in America, 300 major cities in America, only 28 have lost population, and St. Louis is in the top 10 of the fastest dying cities in America. Matter of fact, it's number 7.
Well, in 2008, people, you can Google this on your phone. I got receipts for everything I'm saying. I did a documentary called Hood Chronicles in 2008.
Called what now?
Hood Chronicles.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can Google that. Hood Chronicles STL. You can Google that on your phones, on your computers. 2008 is where St. Louis really starts seeing a surge in robberies, assaults, and murders. I think at that time, I forgot who the police chief was, but I spoke with him and I addressed these concerns in the documentary. He said, "Oh, Mr. Cunningham," and I had sight at that time. We got it under control. 20 years later, look where we at. I think even with the police chief that just retired, I have heard him on radio shows and people are congratulating him and giving him accolades. And I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
What do they do to football coaches when they don't have a winning season?
They let them go.
What they do to baseball coaches when they don't have a winning season?
They let them go.
This dude should have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
I knew something was wrong with him when he made that statement and said this is the triangle. These neighborhoods are the triangle of terror. And he named Walnut Park. He named Wellston. He named 3 more neighborhoods. And I said,
the triangle of terror.
He said, these neighborhoods are the triangle of terror. I said, you know what you just did, buddy? You just fueled the South Side neighborhoods, North County. Now all them gangs saying, oh, you think they tough?
Yeah.
And that's when the explosion started with more crime all over the city. So I knew right there, he really didn't know, he didn't understand what he was really attacking of the violence in our city. I think they kind of took the gangs in St. Louis like they really had it under control, because the gangs are not gangs no more. They're gangs, but they're kind of, each block has their own crew. Every block has their own crew.
And is that part of that gang, or is it just they just independent operators? All of them?
they're like one big gang, but they all broken down. You remember Transformers?
Yeah.
You know how the Transformer will break down and there'll be like 20 other robots, but they can come together for one big robot. Mm-hmm. So with the gangs, you might have one big gang, Crips and Bloods, but within the Crips and Bloods, you might have the Mimica Bloods. Then you got the next street over, they the Bloods. Then you might have the Piranhas. They'll name themselves the Piranhas. But each street has their own gang, but the neighborhood is one big old gang.
Okay.
So if you go over to Council Point, they got their own set. You go to Bell Fountain, they got their own set. You shoot back to Wellston, they got their own set. And each of these streets inside those small communities are gang related.
Let me jump in it with you for a minute. I got to go this way again, and Mayor don't like to hear it. During the time Mayor Bosley was in office, this is documented. What year was that anyway, Mayor, when they put it out, the crime was
93.
down? In 1993, crime was down. Why?
No. When I took office, it was up.
It was up. The crime was up. But I said when you came in, okay, right. Once you got in office, I should say.
And so with 95, that's when it started going down.
Crime was down, and it was because Mayor Bosley himself would go out in the street with us. That's how come we know 5-4 and 4-4 and 6-2. It remind me how police used to drive through the community. Then some of them used to walk, so you could get a chance to know who was in the community. See, when they started that there, and I got to give this is Brother Shaheed speaking again. I'm not speaking for Blind City. I'm not speaking for Hallelujah 1600. I'm not speaking for Who is Tim. I'm speaking for my damn self and the Tiny Youth Group and Brother Sultan Muhammad. When Clarence Harmon came in.
Hold on, wait.
No, this Brother Shaheed speaking, Mayor Bosley. No. You want to invite him on the show and let him, because I'm going to get this one off. When he came in, he was so in love with trying to break down everything that you did. They disbanded that gang abatement program. And then this is the truth, and I dare somebody to Google and find out, and put people in those positions that know what the hell they was doing. They didn't know if they supposed to be playing baseball. They just had a title saying, I'm over the gang abatement, and didn't know how to even spell damn gang. Wasn't going to go into no damn street.
Haven't seen the gang.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it real. So now I'm fast forwarding, that when you start talking to somebody in 208, it had way gone past. It had got out of control. When you going fishing, that's one thing Mayor Bosley specializes in fishing. You don't wait till the fish get damn downstream to go fish for some damn fish. So that's why they don't want me around here too much, because I'm going to say what I want. And the views are spread. This is me. I say what the hell I want to say. I'm damn free.
Right.
Yeah. But go on, jump back in.
Right.
They the criminals. They're sitting and don't want to put things in place because they on some. He want his marbles back.
And Kevin was right there with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Kevin was right there with us, all up in it.
And when Kevin Cunningham seen what they was doing and how some of them was doing all illegal stuff, Kevin left and went into boxing. And now he's one of the greatest promoters that is out there. When they get through talking about Kevin is Kevin. Yeah. But Kevin gonna say what he wants to say, and Kevin ain't gonna lick nobody's behind. I tell you that.
And Kevin, let me tell you this too.
We talking about his cousin. His name is Kevin Cunningham, because this is Langford Cunningham, brothers and sisters in radio audience this morning.
When we were putting these bouts together, I was the lawyer for the organization. It was called a knockout.
Yes.
And so we sometimes have to go down. Have to go down to Florida to meet Don King.
Well, he was crazy.
So
he went off on Don King.
We'd sit in Don King's office, and we'd be talking, and Don King said, wait a minute, I got a call from Donald Trump. Pick up the phone. Donald, you son of a gun, you disrespected me and called me. You got to give $100,000 to my charity. Boom. Hang the phone up. But anyway.
This was the truth.
Kevin was one of the few people that I have seen that is able to handle Don King.
Ain't no secret.
Don King would be down there trying to put fights together. Oh, no, hell no, we're not going to do that. That's what Kevin would say. Yeah. We're not going to do that. And this is what we got to have. And I'd lay some things out. But Kevin was carrying that ball. And Don King could do nothing but laugh. I mean, because he's like a son.
Yeah.
He's like a son, because Kevin was one of the youngest guys in the industry.
But Kevin was,
and he's sitting there talking to Don King and telling Don King what's getting ready to happen. I mean, it was just, I could not do nothing but smile. Yeah. So I know the kind of quality of people that you're from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Cunninghams. Yeah. We had the first black funeral home on the north side, Cunningham Funeral Home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But
I'm sorry to get you sad.
But and Kevin doesn't get the accolades.
Oh, no.
Because he brought the biggest fight that St. Louis ever had.
That's right. That's
Corey
right.
Spinks.
Yeah.
Sold out the Savage Center.
You sold
Ain't no
it
secret.
out.
Ain't no secret.
So right.
Yeah, and nobody ever wants to talk about that.
They don't talk
No,
about it.
particularly these sports enthusiasts.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Right.
No, they won't. You don't want to give credit to people in your own town.
No.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and you're right, and that's another problem of our city. And
Absolutely.
if you really look at it, a lot of our people that come from St. Louis that got famous, they had to leave St. Louis
You're not
to
lying.
get famous.
You're not lying,
You know,
bro.
Dick Gregory,
Yeah.
You're not
Red
lying.
Fox,
Yeah.
Nelly and the St. Lunatics,
Yeah.
Chingy. People had to leave out of here, and that's what I'm doing with my podcast.
Kamora Lee.
Kamora Lee, yeah. I'm reaching out to other people in other cities because sometimes trying to deal with St. Louis is like crabs in a bucket.
Yep.
You know, I hate to say it. It just seems like, you know, we cannot come together for a bigger cause. If the black businesses and black people can just come together for one common goal, you will see how fast our city could grow economically. We wouldn't have to be on the dying list. Sometimes we got to be accountable for what we're doing wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We pointed out because like I said, problems are opportunities.
Yeah.
See, now we have
Exactly.
pointed out this problem, but it also presents us with the opportunity to do something about it.
That's what you always say, Mayor.
Yeah.
That's what you always say. I'm just so happy to have this brother on the show. Get in on anything else we need to get
Yes.
on. We got about another 7-8 minutes,
Yeah.
brother. I wanted to give you enough time so you won't go out there talking this stuff to a gymmer. See, I already know what you're going to do. His ride or die, brothers and sisters. Let me take my man. His ride or die is a Jimmer Muhammad. Brother Shade is all right. But who he going to, just like me and Mayor Bosley, I'm Mayor Bosley, ride or die. Me and Mike Brown, we ride or dies. That's how we get down. His ride or die is a Jimmer Muhammad. It ain't Anthony Shahid. But go ahead. I don't want to jump in on your
Oh,
conversation.
no. We all one crew. But yeah, Dr. Juma, he's the therapeutic on my show. We are the therapy for the streets. And that's our slogan. I had to lose my sight to find my vision. I don't walk with a cane or a dog, but I am better looking than Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles. And you can check us out on Sundays after midnight. ABC 30 TV.
Yeah,
You will be entertained and you will have information and awareness to
right.
address these issues
That's right.
in our community. That's
right.
the goal.
Information.
And support
that's
your
right.
black radio.
Right.
Keep supporting the Freeman Bosley Show, DJ Show, Blind City Podcast, because we have to stick together.
Yeah, and what
Zaki
stick
Baruti.
together, and like you
Brother
talked
Zaki.
about
Down there, right.
Brother
You
Zaki
talked about
Baruti.
Brother Juma bringing therapy, and that's what we have to do. You got to bring therapy to people in a way that they can accept it. A lot of times you get too serious, you turn folks off, but we kind of provide a little mixture of entertainment. You know, that's why we don't we're serious, but we're not taking ourselves too seriously. You know, we're trying to give out information to people, and that's just what we do. You know, because a lot of folks know your mind's been hijacked.
Yes.
That is what's happening. Your mind has been hijacked, and you don't even know it. And so we try to provide you with little kernels of information to kind of perk you up just a little bit, and it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't change things right then, but you know, tomorrow, or next week, or sometime later, all of a sudden some of these things will come to you, and you say, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
And I like when you bring the young people onto your show.
Oh man,
that
it's
is huge. And I tell a lot of us, you know, I'm 55. I tell a lot of the older black men in our community, we got to reach out to our
Yep,
young people.
that's right.
It's too much of a division between us and them. We have to reach out to them. I've heard many shows you done brought some of the young guys up with their own businesses
Right,
and what they're
that's
trying
right.
to do.
Yeah.
And I hope other shows, we in the black community and in black media, we continue to give them
That's
a
right.
platform and let them hear their voice.
And they appreciate it too.
Yes, they do.
And they go out and talk about it.
Yes, they do.
They really do. And we're going to continue to do that because that's how, it's just like when you're building a house, you know, you don't put the roof on first. Right. You start laying the foundation, brick by brick. And then you put some mortar on it, and you put some more bricks on it, you put some more mortar, and that's why we go out, and that's why we have the young folks in, because they are the foundation. Many of them are the foundation, and we got to build on that. And that's why it's so important that we give them a voice and give them an opportunity to be heard.
And, let me say this before we depart, or before I depart. I really thank you guys for letting me inside your show, and I'm very humbled by it. I want to thank the city of St. Louis and the county and the whole state, because they have really put their arms around Blind City, the podcast, and supported me. I don't take it for granted. I'm very humble. We done lost some pillars in our community.
Yeah.
Let me say rest in peace to Orlando Watson. I will keep your name alive.
Yeah.
After the celebration and the funeral, people go on with their lives.
Right,
They forget real quick.
Yes.
But I'm going to keep his name alive. He was a big influence in our community.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard him when he came on your show. That was great that you had him on.
Oh, man. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
Orlando was a good guy.
Yeah, I spoke with him after the show, and he felt real good coming on the show. And at that time, he was fighting in.
Yeah.
The cancer was spreading all over his body.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had been fighting that cancer for really about 3 years or so, because all during the Mike Brown piece, him and all of them were around. So he was a big part of what we were doing for the most part, and then he was doing a little bit better, and all of a sudden it reoccurred, So.
And let me also say, excuse me, Shaheed.
No, go ahead. Take your time.
I want to salute the legends from our community, Percy Green.
Oh, yeah.
Percy Green.
He been on.
Yeah, I salute Percy Green.
Yeah.
I also want to salute, I just had him on my mind, Onion Heart, rest in peace.
God, yeah.
Onion Heart. I grew up on Onion Heart.
That was the man.
I was influenced by Onion Heart.
That was the man.
Yes.
That was the man. Onion Horton.
Onion Horton, yes. I'm sorry.
Onion Horton didn't drive, all right. Every day, I would say probably at least 11 o'clock, Onion Horton would be at the library.
Oh, he's going to be there.
And he would stay down there till 5 or 6 o'clock. I had times when I'd see Onion Horton stand on the bus stop, waiting on the bus to go take him back home. But every day, now I'm not talking about twice a week.
Oh, no.
Onion was at the library every day, reading periodicals, educating himself about the world. He was a hell of a guy, man.
Yeah.
That's why you
And
couldn't
one
get-
more, let me get this
No, go
out.
ahead,
One more. Oliver Sane, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Bus Stop.
Yeah, Oliver Sane.
Bus Stop. That was one of his songs, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah, Oliver Sane.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you know about Oliver Sane.
Oh, yeah. I worked with Ollie when I was
Okay.
coming up as a kid. I recorded when I was rapping back in the day. I was in his studio, and I learned a lot from him.
Yes.
But he took time out to help young people.
Well, I want to give a shout out to two of them that's still alive, because sometimes we wait till people pass, and you're right,
Fact.
we shouldn't wait till they pass and then
Right.
forget them. But while they're alive too, another brother that really did things in that radio piece, and he was real good, is Bernie Hayes.
Yeah, legend.
Bernie Hayes.
Bernie, yes.
Bernie Hayes was heavy. He was one of the first ones that always, I can remember him saying, look out now. The sun would be rising, because most people don't get up early. We up as Muslims real early. He would always say the sun is rising. I never forget that.
Always positive.
and-
Bernie Hayes was, I ran for clerk of the circuit court in 1982. Bernie Hayes had a show then.
Oh, ain't no secret.
And that was one of the ways that I would get my message out, was to call in on the Bernie Hayes show and talk about certain things that would be going on. And every time I would call, it wasn't like he didn't have time for me. He'd
made
always stop,
time.
give me about 4 or 5 minutes, say what you got to say. Bernie Hayes. Yeah,
that from-
we miss him.
And the last one, but
He's
least,
still around.
last one
2 minutes.
for the rap music
Yeah.
of St. Louis, Dr. Jockenstein.
Oh, right,
Dr.
operating
Jockenstein.
on your mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
And can't forget Doug Easton, WESL.
Easton, yeah.
Doug Easton.
Doug Easton, yes, sir.
So I'm so
Gentleman
St.
Jim
Louis.
Gates.
Yeah.
Jim
Oh,
Gates,
you
yeah.
gonna- What I want to do now, because we only got about a minute and a half, I want to make sure I give out Langford Cunningham, host of Blind City Podcast.com on ABC. But I need you to help me do it, because I think you're at the midnight, like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Sunday mornings.
I don't want you to go fast. Take your time. I want them to hear this, because we got 1 minute left, but I want you to get that information out.
Okay, we come on Sunday nights after midnight. That's 1 a.m. And if you sleep by that time, record it on your DVR. Mm-hmm. Record it on your DVR. For the people that's out, I know they go to comedy clubs, the younger people, so they catch it when they get in. But for the older people, I know you might be knocked out before that time. You got to go to work, or you just relaxing. press record on your DVR, and you look at it when you get up in the morning. But it's Blind City, the podcast, and it says Blind City St. Louis on your TV guide. Yeah. But just press record on your DVR, 1 a.m. Sunday mornings, or you can go to my website, Blind City, the THE podcast.com.
One more time. Get it again. Give it to me one more time.
Blind City, the THE podcast.com.
Blind City, thepodcast.com. That's Langford Cunningham that came, here this morning. This is an honor to have your brother that's on ABC, and he has his own show that want to come and help us get our information out the same way. So it's been good this morning, brother. Thank you for coming in. We only got 20-some seconds left, but I just want to let you know we're honored to have you, to be worthy of being your friend.
Yes, we are.
Same here.
You know?
So, Mr. Bosley, you know you got to come to my show.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to set that up.
That break, man.
We're going to set it up. All right, now it's time for us to go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600.
Keep it on lock. Quit playing.
Keep it on lock.
Quit playing.
And that Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. We had a great segment there, don't you think?
I think it was extremely
that
hot.
brother was very informative.
Well,
Shared with us some things that, we know are evident, but, it never hurts to continue to push and shove, and from the angle that he brought it. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Well,
I thought it was great.
it reminds me of a story used to be on saying, if I wasn't here. And I think it was called A Wonderful World or whatever, but the bottom line is, he kept talking about if he wasn't here, if that brother wasn't here.
Yes, sir.
And there was a lot of people during those times, that have had some things that they went in their mind and thought didn't need to be here. But just the mere fact he was here on these 2 segments with us and the information he got out. If he wasn't here, he wouldn't be on Channel 39. If he was not here, he wouldn't be on the Blind City, thepodcast.com. He wouldn't be on ABC. He wouldn't be on at midnight, whereas he has now hundreds of thousands of people looking at him. He wouldn't be where he can still go out and talk to young people and inspire them, because there's a lot of people think they need to check themselves out or think they don't need to live past 25 years old. So the mere fact that he's here, and I got to say this one here, and I'll be through, Mary Bobs, you can jump back in. We was talking about people that are still alive, and we was talking about other people that have passed, and we should always keep them in mind. But Mary Bobs, I always think about you. The way I feel about you, it's a reason, bro. We talk about, we give it up to heroes and shit, but you was the first black man that never forget where you came from. And I'll never forget that. That's one of the reasons I'm always loyal. You never stopped going out on the street with us. I don't care what was happening. If I came and said, Mary, they got some stuff going over here, there, or you would call and say, Shahid, they doing something at Sumner High School. Get over there and see what's happening. Next thing I know, I would call you. You would leave that office, Mary, and you would be on the scene. And you didn't have to have cameras coming for you to come. That's what they don't know. And until they get back to, they can be where you touchable. They used to have a movie called The Untouchable. They got to be where they can be touched again, because you can't be what you cannot see. You got to see something that you can be, and they were able to see America in live, living color. And for that there, I'll always be loyal to.
Well, it's a phrase in a poem. It says, if you can talk to crowds and keep your virtue, and walk with kings and not lose the common touch.
That's hot. Can't lose that comment. That's heavy.
That's the key. You gotta be able to. You gotta get out with the people.
You did it.
Because it's the people.
You did it, Mary.
I was standing on the shoulders of the people.
Yeah, you did it.
You know what I'm saying?
You did it.
Because big money and corporations and businesses, they were against me. So, I mean, and my daddy said, as long as you can stay grounded.
With the people.
Stay grounded.
Can't fall off the ground.
Can't fall off the ground.
Is that what he said?
Can't fall off the ground. And he would say, don't worry about the money. You got the people. He said, with the people, you don't need the money.
That's right.
And see, that's where politicians get caught up, because they have consultants that are always pressing them. They put you in a room and have you dialing. They can give you the list of the people to call and ask for money.
You're right.
All day long.
You're right. I've seen it.
All day long.
I know you ain't lying.
And I can give you my testimony that I never lost a race until I had money.
You done said it
I never lost a race.
Now, this is heavy, brother and sister.
Until I had money. You hear what I'm saying?
And that's because you had to be on the farm all the time raising money.
And not out in the street and these neighborhoods in this community.
You're right.
But you get caught up.
Yes, sir.
You can get caught up.
Yes, sir.
So, but that's okay, because they know we were here. They know we were here. Let's talk a little bit about. Did you have something?
But I didn't want to just be taking all this. I just want to give a shout out to a brother that I have so much love and respect for.
Go ahead and get that in.
And Dr. Kevin Adams. He's going to be retired from what they say. Put these glasses back. I'm trying to play like I can see. Yeah. Dr. Kevin Adams is retired on
super job.
Super job. That's what it says up at the top. The 31st of December, 2022, and will leave behind a school district that has full accreditation and as much brighter future than when he took over the position. When he came, it wasn't like this, and he said, as I continue to serve the students, families, and staff of St. Louis Public Schools over the next few months, I do so with a deep sense of pride and humility. Over here, he said something else that I really like. He said, regardless to me, it's not about me, is what he was saying. The work is with the children, or his kids. At the end of the day, it's all about supporting them. I am one of just 3,500 employees, he said. His only piece of advice to whoever replaces him, make children, kids your top priority.
Yeah. Well, the thing about this, Kelvin Adams is probably the longest serving superintendent
ain't no secret
that the city of St. Louis has ever had. Does it say how long? I know he's
14 years. It started off, that's what it starts off. The school days are dwindling for Kevin Adams. 14 years of distingued service in St. Louis Public Schools.
Most superintendents are like quarterbacks. Right. They move around every 2 years. Yeah. You know, you put in 2 years, then you're good. You move and go someplace else and make some more money. Yeah. But Kelvin Adams planted the flag. Yeah. Yeah. He planted his flag. They can say a lot in St. Louis.
What they want to say about him, but the bottom line, he did that. And he had to come behind a guy that they had got from New York or somewhere. There was a damn suit salesman.
Yeah. Shame brought him in.
I don't know how many people know this. A guy secretary who sold suits. That's what his job was. So what the hell Seamus brought him in?
He brought him in here to wreck the St. Louis public school system. He did just that.
That's how we lost our accreditation.
He did just that.
When Dr. Adams came, the accreditation was gone. So they say a lot about him. There's a lot of people out there, when they hear us talking, they're going to say, when he did it, I'm telling you what he had to deal with when he came.
Yeah.
See, and when you start talking about what they had to deal with and then where they done took it to, you know, I'm just so scared now. I'm just talking out loud. I got a problem with some of this stuff that's going on there now, and the mere fact they got a white board member, you know, for black schools like that.
But wait, hold.
Yeah, well.
Was he appointed or was he elected?
Jump in.
I believe he was elected into that position. There was an election.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
But that's a problem, man. It's that mindset they always feel when the great Guana. When I was looking at Tarzan, they used to call Tarzan the great Guana.
Yeah.
Black
was it Guana?
They called him the Great Guana. Here comes the Juju man. They be like, and when he do that, they all would rock because they say he's like they saving. When he come, don't matter no different what problem. He coming in Africa.
One white man.
That's what it said to me. This is Brother Shaheen. Again, I'm speaking for Brother Shaheen.
No.
I think that when we talk, it goes back to something what you said earlier. The money's coming. The money's here.
Oh, yeah.
And so you look at the Board of Aldermen president and the flip of that. We look at the chief of police and the flip of that. And it's, to me, when I just look at that, there's a flip that's happening. Like, as you said before, Mayor, the money is here. More money than we ever had.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, these are choices that these individuals are making.
Yes, that's true.
These are choices that these individuals are making. So,
I agree.
You know, something needs to be said about that. But you know, the thing is this city is so great. But in order for us to be great, we must act great.
Yeah, you got to.
And acting great calls us to dig deep. And it calls you to have to put aside some of your pettiness, some of your selfishness, some of your hateration, and do what's in the best interest of the community. Now, I said that, and that sounds good and everything.
Say it again.
And it was
Get closer
easy.
to the mic.
It was easy for me to say it, but it is one of the most difficult things for people to do. It's just like you always, whenever you're meeting with somebody or you're dealing with an issue, you want to bring all this baggage into the room with you. In order to successfully make decisions and do things that are in the best interest of community, you got to leave all that out there. You got to leave all of that out there. And, you know, a lot of times I'll talk to people about stuff. They want to hash and rehash things. I say, look, I got that. Yeah. Let's move on. I got that part.
Living in the past.
Yeah, let's leave that there and let's move forward. Now, where are we going now?
But I really kind of think, Matt, a lot of them feel comfortable because it's like they can get things done and it's more comfortable when they have a white man. Or they can say, well, hold up. Because I've heard them say things like, say, for instance, the police position open. Or say, for instance, just like during the time, I'll never forget this, and I talked about this, Sam Dotson appointed 15 white sergeants, not one black, not one black. Then he had 4 positions as lieutenants. He put 2 whites and 2 blacks, and the only reason he put the 2 blacks on there is because me, you, and some people made sure that Lieutenant Cheryl Orange got appointed. They did not want Lieutenant Cheryl Orange there. But out of 19 positions, white folks gave 17 to they said 15 white sergeants. See, Negroes don't think like that. What they said, we can't do what they do. So that puts us, I'm just telling you, let me just get this.
I'm going to get it. Go and get it out.
That gets us in a bad position when we start thinking like this, and then we can't push the same. We're supposed to feel the same way. Now, let's have a black superintendent. Let's keep a black person over this board. Let's keep a black. It's like in this city here, it's like this money's coming through it, and if we want to we got to make an inclusion. Mm-hmm. Well, make an inclusion, but make some inclusion with us first.
Yeah. Let me give you something that happened, something I experienced about 2 weeks ago. A situation where somebody's son got killed, and killed in a grocery store, and they called me about the case. No, one of their friends called me about the case and asked me would I like to talk to him. I said, yeah, let me talk to him and stuff like that. So the guy had already taken his sister. His sister was the mother of the kid. So he takes his sister to this. Hold it. It gets better. He takes his sister to this lawyer.
The ice is colder.
Okay, because they think the ice is colder. And so, but
this
at least, no, it ain't funny. But he at least does call me. And so I'm started talking to him.
So I guess we're supposed to give him a proclamation. But go ahead.
I started talking to him, and he says, well, let me tell you what we got going. He says, this guy that we're dealing with now, my sister has a son that's locked up, but he's up in Atlanta, in Georgia, and they need $10,000 to bail him out. And then they're going to need help with the funeral, and that's going to be about another $10,000. Can you promise us that you will give us that if we give you the case? I said, no, I can't. I said, I can't and I won't. I said, damn. I'm able to handle these situations very competently, and we do a good job with them. I said, but I'm not going to promise you that, and I tell you what, he's not going to give you that. So you go on and do what you think go on and do what you think you need to do, and I'll talk with you some other time. But that's where we are
with that mindset,
sometimes, right? With our mindset. We'll try to leverage. We'll talk. We shop the case and we talk to
they want
other
you to give
lawyers.
A hookup.
Absolutely. But see, here's a piece on that. Now this lawyer that he went to, once he gets this case, he's not going to talk to them. They're going to be calling or think they're going to be calling or get the impression that they can call, but they're going to call about 4 or 5 times. They realize their calls are not going to be returned.
Yeah, don't go
so
like that.
At some point, they'll probably call me. I had a person call me and say,
they do it all the time.
Can you call my lawyer and ask him this?
Damn. They don't understand.
Well, I know they did.
Yes, they did.
No, they did.
They had a white lawyer. Of course, and they couldn't get no information. They couldn't get any information, and they said, "Well, can you call him and ask him this?" I said, "No, I can't."
That's another lawyer.
I said, "Right."
But that's a help. Even if they do, why would you ask me to do something that I should have been your damn lawyer?
Because I'm black.
Oh, you ain't got to tell me what they do.
Because I'm black, you're gonna ask me, but he wouldn't be more open his mouth to say a word to that boy. You hear me?
That's why I make that statement about that school board. And this just Brother Shaheed talking. I'm just telling you, I ain't feeling this stuff. I ain't feeling it at all. And I have a right to say something. But if I can get one other thing in there, you can say something.
You talking about the school board?
No, I was going to switch.
Let me hit this on the school board. We have to.
Yes, sir.
We must give credit to Richard Gaines.
Oh.
Richard,
that's a no-brainer.
Richard Gaines, Kelvin Adams could not operate
A hell of a duo.
without Richard Gaines.
That-
We
a
got
hell
to
of a-
get, and Richard Gaines is kind of quiet. He's a big guy. And he's
how do we
going,
make this thing
but,
clap?
Kelvin Adams
See, they don't,
could not
they
make,
don't even know who he is.
could not make any of those things happen. Richard Gaines, there was a special board appointed to oversee
Ain't no secret.
the St. Louis
Thank you for
Board of Education. And that special board was only 3 people. Richard Gaines was one of those 3 people. Richard Gaines would ask Kelvin Adams, what do you need?
Yes.
And Richard Gaines would get that
And make it
through
happen.
that board and make it happen. So, yeah, Kelvin Adams was the guy that was the leader and the
You
guy
want
that was steering that
Freeman
ship, but it was Richard Gaines that also made many of the things that he was able to accomplish
He was a quiet,
possible.
He was
Yeah.
the quiet man.
The gentle
behind-
giant.
He's the quiet man behind the scene, and it's somebody y'all should Google. The problem is a lot of times we giving information out. You know why you don't get enthusiastic about something? You don't know who we even talking about. And when you don't know, I'm telling you.
Okay.
And because they have did so much behind the scene, they wasn't somebody
Yeah.
out front trying to wave their hand like, here I am, y'all.
Right,
do it.
right. No,
They didn't
never,
look at-
never.
That wasn't his style.
Never.
I wanted to say something about a young brother that we talked about, and I'm not sure how long it was ago, but no more than about a month ago, Darren Seals.
Okay.
Darren Seals, if they would Google the Riverfront Times newspaper, but I'm just doing that because they officially believe it when a white man said or a white newspaper said, posted past said, then they believe it.
Absolutely. Or Channel 2, 4, and 5.
I got to go back to that kind of talk because you do. But, you know, we've been talking about how most of the activists in Ferguson was coming up killed and dead and shot and burnt. Well, it shows 900 pages. Remember, the white folks said, so you got to believe it now because the white man
FBI,
said.
900?
That's what they said, that the FBI, I'm only quoting it, I might believe it would have been more than that during that time.
You ought to try to get it. It's for freedom of information now.
Okay.
If they let
only
us know
reason-
that they got 900 pages.
I'd rather somebody else try. I'm gonna tell you what. Every time I do a sunshine request, it don't work.
Okay.
That's what happened with. I
But
did
if
the
we could
Jason-
get, I would be
No, you're
interested
right.
in getting those 900 pages and going through them and see what they did.
You're right. But what they did say is that they made sure that they had the police departments everywhere to consistently stop him, and it's consistent with Brother Darren Seals say. He constantly said, if I come up dead, the police is behind it. He said that to us on a regular basis, and when it happened, we said that. Now, here 6 years later, it comes out, according to them, that they told the police department to consistently stop him to get
The FBI did.
according to the
he
newspaper.
did a Facebook Live about that.
That's why we need to get, see if we can get
who can we
Felicia.
get?
Let's see if we can get Felicia to try to make a request, freedom of information request, to get those documents. Since they are announcing that the FBI did that,
Yeah.
they are obviously at the point where that type of information
You're
is
right.
available to
You're
us.
right. And it should be available to us.
So if Felicia, if we can get a hold to it, we're not going to go through everything, but there are probably key portions in that information
Yes, sir.
that we would like the people to know, and the people would like to know as well.
They should know about that. Mm-hmm. This is what's so good about this show here. This show here, and I'm not just saying because we own it, but I'm saying it's hot. I'm thinking about Blind City. He would call me and say, man, I just heard y'all on radio.
Did he?
Now he got his own television station. Mm-hmm. And he was going to whoop us. And Brother Jim would call me 2 or 3 times and man, Shy, when y'all going to put this man on, man?
Oh, I didn't know that. He was trying to get me. Okay.
He said we hot and cayenne pepper.
All right.
Because we
have
say
some
the
phenomenal
things.
listeners, and so shout out to each of you. We can't start calling you out, but I get phone calls and text messages from people who listen to the show, and he's one of the faithful ones. He said, "I listen." He told me, he said, "I know your voice."
Everybody.
There you go.
I hate to say it. Everybody know your voice.
Everybody know
you
your
are
voice,
the
yeah.
secretary, but don't forget now who you my personal secretary. Don't get it twisted.
Well, it's not a day goes by that people don't come up to me and say, "Man, I heard the show, good show." Folks say that. I mean, it comes out of left field because I don't
sir.
expect it. People, I'm listening.
Right. Yeah,
I'm listening. What we gonna be talking? They ask me, "What we gonna be talking about?"
That's right.
Then they say, "We."
Yeah, that's right.
They don't say what you.
We.
They say what we
Or
gonna
they
be
send
talking about.
information for us to talk about.
Send us right. That's right. That's
They
good.
like us,
And we appreciate that.
We really-
We really do.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. That means a lot to us. So
Yeah.
what you got to do is share it, like it, tag it, and follow it.
Share it, like it, tag it, and follow it. Share it, like it, tag it, follow it. Share it, like it, tag it.
Y'all gotta do
follow
this
it.
'cause
It's the
we
Freeman Bosley Jr. Show.
Hold on, we got about
On
5 seconds.
KATZ
That's what-
1600.
man.
KTZ.
Yeah, hallelujah. No,
Hallelujah.
yeah, say what you told you.
1600.
Yes, sir.
Keep it on.
Keep it on line. Quit playing. Oh. And back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. We're going to talk about Sister Strut for a minute.
Absolutely.
Get it out.
Going
Get it out.
This morning, we are definitely, if you register, go down. If you haven't registered, show up anyway. It's happening this morning. Sister Strut, the moment we have been waiting for.
It's going down.
13th annual Sister Strut Breast Cancer Awareness Walk downtown. So make sure you head on out today. It has been great. We
Give
It's gonna
it
be
again.
huge. It's gonna be huge.
Where do they sign up at? Where do you know
the
where
sign
registration
up,
will be going on?
The registration ended a couple of weeks ago, so
Okay.
today it's just a walk.
You just can't show up and register?
You
I know you could probably do
always,
that.
You can always donate.
Yeah.
You can always show up because there will be plenty of vendors.
Yeah.
But the registration for us getting the shirts and all the goodies, that has taken place already. But it's happening. I'm sure people will just stop by today. So go ahead on out. They're
right.
there.
Well, what I wanted to talk about these last few minutes is it's almost laughable, but this is the St. Louis Realtors Association. The St. Louis Realtors Association has apologized to black St. Louis residents for its discriminatory practices. Now, what the hell is that?
They done messed up real bad. 'Cause
They done lost their mind.
Yeah.
I mean, they done apologizing for what? We already know that.
Tell us something we don't know.
We already know that. They have apologized to black residents for practicing housing discrimination. It's just to say, white people are twice as likely to be homeowners in St. Louis as black people are.
Oh, ain't no secret.
So
And
what
so-
are they going to do? What's the
That is the
solution?
question. There it is.
We got an apology. What's the solution?
What are you going to do?
Because you
But see-
can't make up for what you did.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. In my view, I think that the St. Louis Realtors Association has set itself up for a class action lawsuit. If you make a statement
Like that?
like that as an organization and as a corporation, that is what in the legal profession what we consider to be an admission.
Well, don't tell him, man, because we want more people to apologize.
Now, we don't want nobody to
we want more organizations to apologize.
this one is enough.
That's in the bag.
This gives you
that chicken's already in the pot.
that gives you what you need.
We won't.
And what needs to happen is, I'm old now, but the younger lawyers, one or two of them, need to take this case on and sue the St. Louis Realtors Association for past and present practices of discrimination.
Yeah.
The good thing about this is
They admitted it.
they have admitted it. And this is an admission
Yeah.
that is part of evidence.
Ain't no secret.
This can be produced and introduced
Yes.
as evidence at a trial. So you don't have to send out interrogatories, requests for admissions, production, all that stuff that takes months and months and months to gather
Can
information.
they get sunshine on that too?
Yeah, well, it's already an article.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just use the article, get a certified copy of the article that ran in the St. Louis
But I'm saying,
Post
wouldn't it get
Dispatch
more detailed
or
if
St.
you
Louis
did?
Business Journal.
Okay.
It has details in it
Okay.
about what they actually did.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
I think they have laid themselves open for a class action lawsuit, and somebody needs to pursue that and demand billions of dollars. And see, that's money that the St. Louis Realtors Association does not have, but they can at least have a judgment
Yes.
against them,
Which is serious.
which is serious. I know they have some type of insurance, and it's probably minimum compared to the actual damages. But some of these people, unfortunately, might be able to, and you got to figure out a way to do it if you can, might be able to be sued individually.
That's
you see,
what you want.
individually and personally.
Yeah, that's what
You
they.
see, if the St. Louis Realtors Association has admitted this, then I think that you also have an opportunity to go after all of the members. You know, maybe not, if you don't get them individually, you can get their companies. If their companies have actually signed up and become members of the St. Louis Realtors
Yeah,
Association,
right.
then I think therein lies the rub. You might say, for instance, if real estate companies, Century 21.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Huh?
All of them.
Yeah, Century 21 was the other big company, it's a real huge, big company, the name not coming to my mind right now. But there's another company, you got about 4 or 5, Feinberg Realty. You know what I'm saying? Feinberg Realty. Yeah, you got about 10 big real estate companies. Samsung.
Yes, Samsung.
They might be a member of the real estate. You can sue them in their individual capacity.
That's hot.
Now you might be able to get to some bigger money.
Yeah.
You know, because the St. Louis Realtors Association may have a $10 million policy, but these other ones might have $5 or $6 million
Right.
policies as well.
Right.
So then you start stacking the policies on top of each other, so then it adds up. You might be able to get to $100 million.
Well, that's what my mother said. She said, "We don't know exactly who it is. Whoop everybody, not well. You know, you got the right one."
Yeah.
That's how my mom used to say it.
Well, I think these people have opened the door for some real action, action, you see. And I think that if you get some young lawyers involved in this stuff and take some action.
And
You know.
get some of those young people in them high schools and colleges and do
Yeah.
some research on this stuff and really get
That's
it right.
absolute. Now, I'm available for advice and counsel, like they say.
Can't beat that.
Young men, old men for counsel.
and young
Yes,
men for
sir.
war.
Old men for counsel, young men for war. I'm available to talk to people if they want to talk about it and give some advice in terms of what direction we need to be headed. But I think this is a classic here.
You done gave them the best directions already.
I think this is a classic.
I want to get
All right.
I want to get one phone number out real
Go ahead.
quick.
Yes, sir.
For anybody who wants to join the prayer line, every Friday at 12:30 without fail. We don't care who around the country and what didn't have the traumatic. We make sure that they on. Dial this telephone number 667-770-1476. 667-770-1476, and the pound number is 196-854. 196-854. Call every Friday at 12 noon.
Look, this just in. St. Louis Police Union fires Jeff Reuter, business manager.
Now that's my boss. Hey, man, boss. Now, we got to start the show off next week with this one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, this dude is no damn good. This brother shot. Well, this everybody say he ain't no damn
He
good.
ain't no good.
He ain't no damn good.
He is a major
Jeff, say that name again.
agitator, provocateur, Jeff Reuter of the St. Louis Police Officers Association.
praise due to Allah.
rotten
Thank you, Allah.
or something funky has gone down for them to decide to get rid of
He
him.
might have been with the Builders Association, with the realtors or something.
We got to bring that up. Go ahead,
Say
Felicia. We're going to hit that
something
next
funky
week.
going down.
He's something like chitlins and hog maws.
All right, guys. We just want to say the Grove Fest is happening today, and the Greek organizations will be out. There's a competition. The organization with the most attendees will win $500. So if you D9, go ahead out today, 4 to 9.
And where is
4
this?
to 11 p.m. at the Grove Fest. It is Grove Fest this year. I don't have an exact address, but it's going to be in the Grove. So
In the Grove.
between
It's
the
Manchester.
140 vendors, 25,000 people usually come out. They're saying so. Grove
How many
Fest,
people usually come out?
25,000
Wow. In St. Louis?
in St. Louis. And also, before we go, the 20th annual Mary Meacham Freedom Crossing celebration today from noon to 5 p.m. today. So that's something else that's happening. All right. It's been a great show.
Say, it's been
Beautiful show.
Yeah,
It's been a
nice
great show.
Very nice.
Share
Let's
it,
go ahead
like
and go
it,
to
tag
Facebook
it, and
and
follow it.
YouTube.
Share it, like it, tag it, follow
We
it.
only got
Share
10
it,
seconds,
like it,
brother.
tag it, follow it.
Share it, tag it, like, and follow. You've been listening to it?
It's the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ
it on lock.
1600. Hallelujah.
Quit playing.
AM.
Yeah.
Keep it on lock. Quit playing.
Quit
Oh,
playing.
oh.